you're about to hear on this show are strictly those of the panel.
Today's digital landscape with the spread of false information can lead to dangerous outcomes. It's crucial for everyone to think critically and verify sources and reflect on the impact of what they share. Let's promote responsible communication to ensure that truth prevails and actions remain rooted in reality.
The following program is rated TV MA-LSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to the Late Night Circus. And tonight I'm going to talk about Area 51 and the mysteries surrounding it. I found a couple of interesting interviews about Area 51 that I thought were pretty interesting. And yeah, I know there's been a lot of sad things that's happened today with things that are going on. But I wanted to be able to take everybody's mind off of that for a little bit because there's nothing we can do. We just have to wait and find out what the truth is and who did what and why they did it, and pray for the families of the injured, National Guard men that were just doing their jobs and taken out just for being who they were. And there's nothing we can do about it. So I thought that I would do something, different to try to take our minds off of that. And I'm hoping that this will give everybody a little something to think about just for a little while. That's not so sad. Everyone has been around someone that knows something or has their point of view on Area 51, why the government started it. Is it really to hide, UFOs? Is it just a secret base to create interesting ships and planes and other things that we might use, laser beams or whatever, or transporters? Maybe we can create wormholes. I mean, we don't really know, but I think it's interesting. And I thought I'd throw together something to just try to help people to stop thinking about what we're going through right now. If you're in the United States, it's just not been a very good day. But people like to ruin our holidays. They want to ruin anything that's good happening. They want to do whatever they can to make their 15 minutes of fame by taking away good things from other people. So we can't let them do that. We've got to stay focused and keep trying to fight for freedom, keep our freedom to be able to even, just live in our homes and watch the shows that we want, talk about the things that we want, listen to the music that we like, and be with the people we want to be with. And we're the only ones that have the control over that, or we should be. So I hope you guys enjoy the show tonight. I'm going to be talking about Area 51, just like I said, and hopefully it'll be entertaining. Get your mind off a few things. Say, oh, hi, guys. Hi, everybody. I already said hi to baby girl because she was in here earlier. And Jackie Blue, thank you so much for being a ranch. And I see Lloyd Christmas is in here in the chat. Let's see who else, if there's anyone else in here. Oh, Doc. Hi, Doc. Nice to see you. I hope you guys are prepared for a good day tomorrow and eat all day. Well, most of the day. Other people spend a lot of time in the kitchen. But yeah, I just want to, take our minds off a few things. But I get some interesting tidbits here and there every so often. I went to New Mexico. I went to the outskirts of Area 51 and got some pictures and stuff. I should have thought about sharing some of them of me standing under the sign, and stuff like that. But I didn't. I forgot. I'm sorry. I wasn't really thinking about that much. I just wanted to make sure I put on my, you know, my, you know, uniform. Woohoo! And I might make sure I had my antenna on and everything to have fun, to try to have a few, you know, make some make some people laugh a little bit, maybe smile some. But yeah, I always thought it was really, really interesting. And I had pulled up the Wikipedia information about Area 51, and I was looking at it. And that's when I thought, hey, I'm going to see if I can find anything pertaining to Area 51 and talk about it tonight. Just something weird and wacky, something fun to pull out, on the late night circus where, anything goes, basically. You can talk about anything, and we can dig around, see what happens. But I thought it was interesting because it's a U.S. Air Force facility, and it's in Nevada, and they've had movies made about it. We've had, so many stories have come out about crashes, alien abductions. We've had so many things. It's just so interesting, I think. And when I got the nickname when I was like, I guess 9 or 10 years old, when someone called me Janet from Another Planet, and I remember crying, being upset about it because they were making fun of me because I'm into comic books and things like that, and I talk about, fun things that I thought were interesting and fun. I'm into vampires, and I have Morbius comic books. I have Deadpool comics. I have a whole bunch of Wolverine comic books and things like that. And I was bragging about it because I thought it was, cool, because my dad is the one that got me involved in, collecting comics and stuff and reading them. And I started getting made fun of, calling me Janet from Another Planet. So that was where I first got the nickname. And at first I didn't like it. I hated it, I guess, because they were pointing their finger at me and laughing and things. But everyone gets bullied at some time, I think. But I just thought it was interesting. There's so many stories about Area 51. Is it really our government that runs it, or is it like a group of different governments of different countries around the world that really work on technology and things like that? And it's interesting how there's still this shroud of us not knowing what really goes on in there, even though hundreds of people work there, and it hasn't leaked out. So in a way, it's kind of amazing that we do have a place in the United States of America that people work at. People get paid to work there, and nobody's come out with videos or anything to prove what goes on there. And I just think it's really interesting because it's really big. And I was looking at some of the this information, and this huge satellite picture image of actually what's there. But has anybody ever tried to get on like Google Earth and zoom in? I mean, do they have it blacked out? How do they keep it so secret? I just don't understand how that's possible, because it seems like nothing's a secret. Shit, you find out about anything nowadays. You don't even want to know about it. People write it on bathroom walls. They make videos, they post them. It just seems like there's nothing secret anymore, that nobody can have any type of privacy, that somebody's got to blab it to everybody. In a way, it's kind of interesting that our government is now releasing like supposed, videos coming out that they're releasing for the, I guess you could call it the X-Files or whatever, because I used to love that TV show. I thought it was so awesome. Some of the stuff they put on there, I thought was really neat. Hi, Shadow and Sun. Thank you for stopping in. Yeah, we're talking about Area 51. I thought we'd talk about that. But I'm going to start out. I'm going to close this thing real quick, and I'm going to add this other video that I think it's this one. Let me make sure. Oh, yeah, let me start it with this one. Okay, I found this one video because I was trying to find anything I could that wasn't on YouTube, because if it's on YouTube, it's been seen by a billion people, and it's not a different point of view, because if everyone's seen it already, then it's boring. So I found this one, and it says Area 51 dying ex-CIA worker blows the cover about Area 51. And I'd never seen it before, but I just kept looking and looking and looking, trying to find anything that wasn't on YouTube and that was about somebody who might actually know something about what goes on there. But it says that this is an interview with Richard M. Dolan, the author of UFOs and National Security State. It's published in the year of 2000. So it's really not really old, like from the 1950s or anything like that. But I still thought it would be really, really good to watch. And I watched a little bit of it. So most of it, though, I haven't seen. So it would be like us watching it, for the first time, or me watching it for the first time, because it really is. But I will pause it if I'm going to push play, and then I'll go back over to StreamYard where I can see what the chat or anything. Because right now I'm over here on this other screen that I have to open so that I can, start it and make sure that the volume's up and everything. But because I can't do both of them at the same time, and I don't have an assistant or anything else, I'm not paid. I don't make any money. I do this because I like it. I know I'm nuts, but I can help it. This is fun and I enjoy it. But here we go. I'm going to start this and we'll see what comes out of it. So hold on. Darn it. I messed up somehow. Let's close that. Here we go. Push here. Here we go.
Yes, well, as we get older and older, I'm 77 right now. You can't live forever, So if this procedure I'm going to have to clean the blood doesn't work, then I've got probably a few more months to make it before my kidneys shut down. So that's kind of why I'm kind of going along with the interview at this time.
You're seeing that what you went through is just too important for people not to know about.
Yeah.
Can you can we start at the beginning with your military career and just walk through what exactly your experiences were?
Was drafted into the military and got into the U.S. Army. After that, I was sent to the Signal Training Center in eastern United States.
What year would this be?
58. I went through the Signal Training course. And at that time, I went through the radio teletype course and also the cryptography course, crypto. They had 5 instructors that were getting out of military service. So they pulled the top 5 students, and I was 3rd in the class. So I got pulled as an instructor.
Now, were you at this time also working yet for CIA?
No.
Not yet?
No. After one day, my boss came to me, and he said, how would you like to, make some extra money? And I said, oh, money is good. So he's explained to me that he could put it through, but I have to get a top secret White House Q clearance for the job, And I thought, boy, must be a pretty exclusive thing, And I said, well, what is this? And he said that I'm director for the CIA for Eastern United States, And I said, oh, I didn't know that. And They said you weren't supposed to. After about 6 weeks, my security clearance came through, and I got my CIA card. It was an ID card, like a credit card, where I could just go up to the door and slice it, walk right in. And my name at that time, I used an artificial name too. Never used my real name. I started working with him on the project he was on, and that was Project Blue Book, which was kind of partially a fraud.
You're saying some of the Blue Book cases were
Yes.
were completely fictitious?
Yes. But the cases that we got came from, I think it was Fort Belvoir, Maryland.
Mm-hmm. Fort Belvoir?
Yeah. And it didn't come from the Pentagon, or it didn't come from CIA headquarters. But we would get reports about a certain sighting that they had in Mexico or Italy or something like that. And then we had people that would follow through on it, that would go out and interview the people to see if they were nutcases or if it was real, you know.
They'd be going overseas frequently?
I wasn't, but I always stayed statewide. But the people we had working with us from the CIA would do that. We would get like a new report probably a couple times a week. I was coming into the Army fresh off the farm, you know, so I really didn't have much knowledge of anything, but my boss filled me in on Project Blue Book and what they had found so far, as far as grays and aliens and the Roswell incident.
How did you feel when this first got dumped on you? When you first learned about this?
I was just kind of overwhelmed with all of this, you know. And I said to him, I don't know if I'm going to be able to be a judge of this type of thing. What's real, what's not, when I don't have much knowledge of it, you know. So
what did he say?
he said, well, we have to build the information as we go, and you'll see how this fact that I had to take a vow that I wouldn't tell anybody, a lot of it for 40 years and more of it for 50 years, which is up in 2010.
You're doing all this crypto work. You're looking at images, photographs, video. It's 1958, maybe the fall of 58. What happened after this?
At that time, the Project Blue Book thing kind of went pot, you know. If you remember, back in those days, they kind of declared it as a nothing, you know.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And
they were telling the world all UFOs are misidentifications, hoaxes,
balloons.
Psychological issues, whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
So my boss came to me and he says, we've both got a new assignment. And he says, oh, I said, where are we going? Oh, he says, we're going to the Capitol. We're going to be part of the Eisenhower push. He's trying to find out something about all about these aliens that MJ-12 was supposed to find out, but never sent back reports to him.
The MJ-12, the UFO control group, were they calling it MJ-12 at that time? Yes.
They called us in, went into the Oval Office, and President Eisenhower was there and Nixon, and they said, we called the people in from MJ-12 from Area 51 and S4, but they told us that the government had no jurisdiction over what they were doing. So being a general, past general, you didn't tell him to go to hell without any real good reason, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So he said, I want you and your boss to fly out there. I want you to give him a personal message. He says, I want you to tell them, whoever is in charge, tell them that to get in, they have this week, coming week, to get into Washington and to report to me. And if they don't, I'm going to get the First Army from Colorado and we're going to go over, we're going to take the base over. I don't care what kind of classified material you got. We're going to rip this thing apart.
Eisenhower was going to invade
Yes,
Area 51.
Yeah, with the First Army.
So you go out with your superior.
Yes.
You fly out. You land. What happens? Can you describe this whole process? What you saw?
They took us the 13 or 15 miles south to S4 and like different garage door openings. And in these garage door openings, they had like different saucer crafts. The very first one had the Roswell craft in. It was kind of crashed up, but apparently every alien that was in it died except for a couple.
So you see the Roswell craft, and what are some of the others that you see?
Well, the Roswell craft was really strange because it looked like real heavy aluminum foil. We could rock next to it, and you could rock it. The whole thing probably weighed 150, 300 pounds.
Could they tell what the source of power was of this craft?
Yeah, it was like a reverse gravitational thing of some kind. In fact, one later on, I got the mathematical code for reversing gravity in a 3x5 card. I guess there are different types of grays and so on.
How did you see that evidence?
Well, at the later on at S4, we viewed the autopsy film, and then the colonel said, what we've got in here is we're interviewing a gray alien.
All right, right there. How did you feel at that moment?
Well, I thought, boy, we had no idea we were going to see the real thing. All we saw was film.
You had to have a little bit of heart racing
Yes.
at that moment.
My boss was able to go in and had a partial interview with him.
So what did this gray alien look like? Could you describe him a little bit?
This one looked a little bit oriental.
So I'm just wondering if it looked almost human, what about this didn't look human?
No, it didn't look human as far as the skin tone and basically the shape of it and the size.
How was its head size compared with a normal human, for example?
Brain was kind of a little bit bigger. And some of the nose was very, very small. And the ears were just like holes. Mouth was very small.
Now, why were they bringing you out here at all, anyway, to see an alien? What was the point?
To go back and tell the president they actually had one.
So he did not know at this point
No,
if there was an alien at S4.
no.
What did you do then at Area? Were you done, or did you have other things to do with
Yes,
S4?
but basically we were kind of done.
I think that's pretty interesting in this discussion is the fact that Area 51 is supposed to be run by our government, and we're paying for it, the taxpayers, and the president of the United States doesn't even know supposedly what's in it. I mean, he's the commander in chief. He's supposed to start wars, shoot nuclear bombs at other countries. He has that capability, but he doesn't know that we have certain things in this Area 51. I don't know. I think that's really hard for me to believe that we have areas of our government that are more powerful and know more about what's going on in our country than our own president of the United States. Now, I was saying that so that I could bring this part in, the fact that we know this is true because of everything that's unfolding now since Trump has been president. We're finding out that Comey and a lot of people from the past administration were withholding secrets and running shadow government ops or whatever behind the scenes, and the president didn't know about it. So this to me is totally believable that this what this gentleman's talking about going there to see something so he could go back and tell the president if it was real or not. Because the president probably thought it was stupid and didn't believe in it. So he didn't even want to take his time to go there. And you'd think that they would want to send the vice president or something because, you can't have, it's risky to put the president and the vice president together, especially if something like this was unknown or whatever. And if you got entities in the government that know more than you do, how does that keep the president safe? You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know. It's very scary. The whole thought of so much going on that the president of the United States doesn't even know about it. I mean, have you guys ever thought about that?
Went back to Area 51. Mm-hmm. They took us into the main building. And there we saw a U-2, which of course we didn't know existed. Mm-hmm. And a model of the SR-71.
Yeah, the Blackbird.
So, but like I mentioned earlier, it was not a model of the current Blackbird.
It was an earlier version.
But an early version.
Did you go directly to Washington after this?
Yes.
Or did you go somewhere else? How did they did you fly regular airline?
We flew back to the commuter plane back to the air base, mm-hmm. and then took President Eisenhower's Lockheed Electra back to Washington.
You and your supervisor, superior officer, and now you're meeting with the president?
Yes.
Can you describe this?
Well, we met with him in, the second story of the old OSS warehouse building. And Eisenhower and Nixon were there. And also Hoover was there. So he asked us what was going on. And we told him about the alien, the whole situation. And the black projects and so on. And he was just totally shocked. He appeared for the first time to be worried. Mm-hmm. Like he was worried.
I would think that Eisenhower he certainly knew that flying saucers were real.
Yes.
He knew that there were aliens. So I guess I'm just wondering, what would he have been, really surprised about?
Surprised about the black programs. Eisenhower said, got to keep this thing completely secret. Mm-hmm. Can't talk about this.
Your actual name is, the name you grew up with, that was a different name than what you had in the...
I never used it in the CIA at all.
Now, what about today? You're going on the public record, and this is still sensitive information, even though earlier you talked about, security oaths that maybe expire after a certain period of time.
50 years.
But you're still concerned.
Linda Moulton Howell's phone call her phone was tapped, and they got my phone number, and through the telephone company, they were able to find me, and so on.
When they found you, what happened?
I was going to a grocery store. Two guys in a black suits come out of a black Lincoln town car and came over to see me.
Mm-hmm.
And they told me that I better not publish anything or talk to Linda about any more things. So at that time, I did, I stopped.
That was enough to intimidate you.
Yes. Rather remain anonymous. Never show my face on anything.
Really, thank you for doing this.
Yes, this was, I guess, kind of a good idea because I feel much better having talked about it. I kind of feel like there's a load off my shoulders.
Really?
Because I had an awful lot of secrets that I had kept over the years. Card, like a credit card, where I could just go up to the door and slice it, walk right in. And my name at that time, I used an artificial name too. Never used my real name. I started working with him on the project he was on. And that was Project Blue Book, which was kind of partially a fraud.
You're saying some of the Blue Book cases were
Yes.
were completely fictitious?
Yes. But the cases that we got came from, I think it was Fort Belvoir, Maryland.
Mm-hmm. Fort Belvoir?
Yeah. And it didn't come from the Pentagon, or it didn't come from CIA headquarters. But we would get reports about a certain sighting that they had in Mexico or Italy or something like that. And then we had people that would follow through on it, that would go out and interview the people to see if they were nutcases or if it was real,
They'd be going overseas frequently?
Yeah. I wasn't, but I always stayed statewide. But the people we had working with us from the CIA would do that. We would get like a new report probably a couple times a week. I was coming into the Army fresh off the farm, so I really didn't have much knowledge of anything, but my boss filled me in on Project Blue Book and what they had found so far, as far as grays and aliens and the Roswell incident.
How did you feel when this first got dumped on you? When you
Well,
first learned about it?
I was just kind of overwhelmed with all of this, And I said to him, I don't know if I'm gonna.
my father was in the Air Force, and he told me that he believed it, and that they would tell stories and let some people say things that they believed was going on to make it look more like it was fake, to show people that, yeah, you can't believe these people because they'll say anything for money or just to get famous and things like that. And he said that lots of those stories that we heard were real, that he believed they were real, and that I myself had my own experience. Maybe I should tell you, it doesn't take very long, but we lived in the Philippines on the Air Force bases before it got, destroyed because of the volcano and everything. But I remember I was staying the night with one of my friends, and we lived in like a circle where the housing, the military housing went like that. And it was a circle, and you drive around and you had your own little driveways, and it was across from my own house where I live. And I remember we were me and her we were laying in bed, and we only had a sheet over us because it's so hot. It was so hot, and we had the window open, and she had a little wiener dog, and her older brother, I guess he was a teenager. I think he was a teenager. He was babysitting us, and the parents were gone. I don't know where they were. I don't know how late it was, but it didn't seem like it seemed like it was really late. I mean, because it was pitch dark out and there was some stars out and things. But we were laying in bed, and I didn't hear anything, but the dog started barking. And he jumped down off the bed and he went to the door, and then I could hear his little nails like clicking on the floor. And then he went out at the door, and then I could hear him clicking down the hallway and then down the stairs. And he's barking the whole time. And that was all I heard. And I saw bright lights, like maybe it was a bunch of ambulances and stuff like that pulling into the cul-de-sac, but there was no sound. It was no sound besides the dog barking. And I remember sitting up in bed, and my friend woke up, and she stood up, and she's like, "What's going on?" And she was standing on the bed. She goes, "What's all the lights for?" So we got out of bed, and we started to walk toward the windows, and the curtains were wide open, and they had, instead of regular like blinds that go back and forth, it was one of those blinds that roll up. When you pull the thing, they just roll up, because it was in the Philippines. And she pulled that up, and it was really, really bright, where it felt like we had to cover our eyes and stuff. And I was like, wow, that's really bright, but there's no noise like that. And then the dog, we could hear the dog yelping and then come running up the stairs. You could hear his little nails clicking, and he'd come running in, whining back into the room. He jumped up on the bed, and the door slowly opened up when the dog came back in, and you could hear it creak a little bit. And then the dog whining, and you could see the bright light. It was like bright light coming up the stairs. It was really weird. And I remember us walking towards the edge of the bed, and she got up on the bed again next to the dog, and she was sitting there, and I got up on the bed, and we were just like, we were too afraid to go to the door. It was really bright. And then we saw a shadow. It was like a black shadow of a figure, like a normal person, just standing in the door with bright lights behind them, but they were completely black, like my gloves. You couldn't see any light or anything. It was like they were a shadow, and they were standing in the doorway, and she started screaming. I didn't say anything. I just was staring at it. I didn't know what it was. And then the dog started barking again as soon as she started screaming, and the dog jumped off the bed and ran towards the door, and it just disappeared out of the doorway. We saw the lights getting fainter as like it went down the stairs again. And her brother comes running out, and he's like, "What's going on? What are you guys doing?" And he goes, "Why is the door open?" And down, because he's talking about the door downstairs. And we said, "We don't know." That's all I remember saying. And I don't remember sleeping very good that night, but I told my mom the story the next day when we went home. And she said, "Well, it sounds like you watched a scary movie and you had a nightmare." That's what she told me. When I told my dad, he told me that we did the right thing by not going to the door, and by trying to stay calm and not screaming, things like that. So as my dad said, I reacted properly when I told him, and I was like, well, I was scared. But that's what I really do believe, that was an alien or something like that. But it was scary to me. But my antenna fell off my head. Sorry. But yeah, that was my alien experience with UFOs, with a UFO, that I think that's what it was, from what I remember as a kid. But yeah, it was really scary. And I still remember it. I can still feel my heart starting to pound harder when I'm talking about it, even after all this time. And it was so real. It was just, I'll never forget it as long as I live. And I've never seen anything like it since. Not one thing. And they didn't say anything. They just were looking at us. I don't know if they were looking for something, or they were wanting just one of us or something. And since the other one was there, they didn't have room for the other one, or I don't know. I have no idea. It was interesting. But the dog saw whatever it was that we saw, whether it was a person or her brother playing a joke on us. But the bright lights outside, that's what I, without noise. That's what I told my mom. I said, if it hadn't been for the bright lights outside, without the sirens or anything, I wouldn't have believed it. That I would have known it was. I thought it would have been a prank or something by her brother. The more I thought about it, but it was really scary. I still have nightmares sometimes. I dream about it, and it's almost like it's real, and it's happening right then. But I don't know if any of you guys have ever had any kind of experience, but I have a few friends that have told me different stories about things that they believe. And I'm one of those people. I do believe that that it's real. I don't believe that we could possibly have this magnificent planet that heals itself. If you just leave something there, over time, the Earth takes it back again. It makes it disappear. How can this wonderful planet with all this life on it be the only planet in all of the universes, in all the galaxies? I just don't believe that's possible. And I know that there's billion suns out there. And if you had the sun and the other ingredients, life forms. So I do believe that. And I do believe that there's probably life on other planets. And that if as far in advance that we are, and we've only been around for a short amount of time, really, considering how old other things are on our planet, that we've figured that out, then how can there not be other planets with life on them that are way more advanced than we are? Now you guys understand why I love Star Trek so much, because Star Trek, to me, when my dad started watching reruns with me, were so realistic that we could one day do that. I can't believe it still that we haven't reached the technology wise to be able to do that already. I really thought that in my lifetime I'd be able to fly on a starship or something. I'd always hoped that, but kids or will be kids, right? But yeah, I thought this was really interesting, and I just thought his story was interesting, because why would he just make it up? And he seemed generally like he was relieved that he got that off his chest, that he felt like he's been hiding something for such a long time. But this other one I thought was pretty good. It's a little different, but it was one of the stories that I pulled up when I was looking up the top 10 facts about Area 51, and I found this, and I thought it was interesting. I'm sure all of you recognize this actor, but it's really a really good video. So here we go. I'm going to play it for you.
Take my word for it. There's no Area 51. There's no recovered spaceship.
Oh, excuse me, Mr. President. That's not entirely accurate.
Welcome to Watch Mojo. And today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 facts about Area 51.
The military base 80 miles from Las Vegas has become infamous for conspiracy theories about little green men.
They certainly appear to still be covering up what exactly goes on.
Until now, it had only really existed in places like the X-Files on television. But newly released CIA documents officially acknowledge the site for the first time.
But the secrecy surrounding the area, also known as Groom Lake, caused a massive conspiracies over the years.
For this list, we're looking at what we do know about this much discussed and highly classified Air Force facility. Do you believe the U.S. government is hiding aliens or alien technology from the public? Let us know your theories in the comments. Number 10, it's the center of countless conspiracy theories. Area 51 and wild conspiracy theories go hand in hand, but most people don't realize just what a wide variety of stories the facility has inspired.
The military base 80 miles from Las Vegas has become infamous for conspiracy theories about little green men.
They certainly appear to still be covering up what exactly goes on.
It's at the heart of the American fascination with UFOs, but also so much more. The high level of security and secrecy has inspired far-flung theories regarding its purpose, dating back to the 1940s.
But because of all this secrecy, many made up their own minds a long time ago about Area 51, and that's why it may never lose its extraterrestrial excitement.
These include the reverse engineering of alien spaceships, alien interrogation, an extraterrestrial autopsy clinic, or breeding facility for human-alien hybrids. Non-UFO related theories posit that it's the seat of a clandestine global government, a test site for weather manipulation, a launch site for American black ops, or even that the moon landing was faked there. And this is far from an exhaustive list.
I've been hearing about this for 40 years, that there's alien remains in Area 51. There's something fishy going on there with outer space. Is there?
Number 9, it drives tourism. Given the sinister nature of all the aforementioned theories, you'd think people would steer clear of Area 51. But it's a freaking tourist magnet. Okay, that might be an overstatement. There is, however, a steady flow of tourists from around the world who come to explore the region based on its out-of-this-world reputation.
Rachel isn't used to this kind of attention or this many people.
I'm sure there'll be a lot of just, look at that, did you see that? Wait.
This has given rise to a number of local businesses, like the Little Alien in nearby Rachel, Nevada, that cater to tourists and their extraterrestrial dreams.
Is a full-size bed okay for the two of you?
That's Connie West, the owner of this family-run establishment.
The sausage burger's a round burger.
On a typical day, she's busy.
Nevada even went so far as to name State Route 375 the extraterrestrial highway in 1996. The likelihood of seeing a UFO might be low, but the mystery itself is enough to keep tourists interested.
No one knows what to expect, but small towns near the once secret military research site are preparing for an influx of people over the next few days.
Number 8, security is very tight. The one thing you definitely won't be seeing on a trip to Area 51 is Area 51, at least not a close look. The security at the secretive Air Force installation is truly next level.
Maddie Roberts started a Facebook event to storm the Air Force base, and 3 million people have RSVP'd. The Air Force also responded, saying it stands ready to protect America and its assets.
The path to the facility is an unmarked dirt road. There's nothing stopping you from taking it, but you won't get very far. Long before any of the actual structures are in sight, you'll be told to turn around and go back the way you came.
Both on each side of the vehicle, there's a gentleman that in full military garb gets out. The one on the passenger side, he had a full automatic rifle.
This warning can come from various signs, which you do well to heed: armed patrols or the gatehouse. People who've been caught trespassing have historically been arrested and fined. But as the signs clearly state, the Air Force reserves the right to use deadly force.
So whatever you choose to believe, this place really is shrouded in secrecy. There are real people watching us from up there, making sure we don't cross this line, and there are real scary signs warning us of death if we do.
Number 7. For the best view, head to Tikaboo Peak. If you believe that the truth is not out there, but rather in Area 51, and you are determined to get the best possible look, who are we to stop you? Alien enthusiasts and locals alike agree that the safest and best legal way to get a glimpse of Area 51 is to scale Tikaboo Peak. The mountain doesn't actually have an official name, but this is the name the locals use. This is the best and closest vantage point to the secretive facility. Before you get your hopes up, however, you should know that it's still about 26 miles east of Area 51. There used to be closer lookout points, Freedom Ridge and Whitesides, but they've since been added to the off-limits territory surrounding the base. Number 6. Aerial images have only recently become available. Between online sleuthing and just the sheer amount of technology available to us today, secrets are harder to keep than ever. But keeping an entire Air Force base under wraps? That's nearly impossible.
Till now, it had only really existed in places like the X-Files on television. But newly released CIA documents officially acknowledge the site for the first time.
In 2013, in a long overdue response to a Freedom of Information Act request from 2005, the CIA finally acknowledged that Area 51 exists.
As far as we know, Area 51 is a secretive military flight testing and open training range facility for the U.S. Air Force. But even to this day, people in southern Nevada continue to report UFO sightings around this otherworldly location.
It continues to be strictly controlled airspace with very limited outside air traffic, but it finally appears on Google Maps, including satellite images. The United States continues to limit photography of the base in general, but given that foreign nations and private companies have their own satellites in space, high-res images can now be purchased online. Number 5. It was once nicknamed Paradise Ranch. Area 51 might be the most popular name for the secretive facility, but it's not an official title.
The Area 51 designation is said to come from Atomic Energy Commission designation maps. In the 1930s, it was a wildlife reservation under the Department of the Interior, but the War Department then took it over in 1942 during World War II.
In fact, taking the mystery surrounding this piece of land to almost comedic extremes, people can't even seem to agree on where the 51 came from. The facility has actually accrued a variety of different titles and nicknames over the years, including Nevada Test and Training Range, Watertown, Dreamland, Pittman Station, Homey Airport, The Box, and the Red Square, among others.
But the secrecy surrounding the area, also known as Groom Lake, caused a massive conspiracies over the years.
One of the most notable is Paradise Ranch, which we actually know the story behind. In the 1950s, the base was in need of staff, and so it was labeled Paradise Ranch in order to entice would-be employees to move into the on-site housing. Talk about false advertising.
This is the desert of western Nevada, already well known for its nuclear tests by the Atomic Energy Commission here at Yucca Flats.
Number 4. A military balloon crash started it all. Roswell, New Mexico, and Area 51 are intimately linked in the minds of many. In 1947, an aircraft crashed just outside of town. At the time, it was described as a, quote, flying disc, and generated a lot of media buzz, prompting the military to clarify that it was simply a, quote, weather balloon.
Right away, rumors spread that alien bodies had been found in the spacecraft.
Well, Roswell is really the ground zero of the UFO phenomenon.
Despite this explanation, accusations of a government cover-up persisted for decades. In the mid-90s, the Air Force gave further details, explaining that the balloon was part of Project Mogul, a program working on high-altitude balloons to monitor the Soviet Union.
50 years after the incident, the Air Force released a report admitting that the wreckage was part of a secret system of atomic espionage. But for real believers, this is just another cover-up.
They were too late, however. A connection had been drawn between Roswell and Area 51, which was built in 1955 and is said to house the remains of the aliens and their spacecraft.
This is part of American culture. It is something that means a lot to a lot of people, and it means very different things to millions of people.
Number 3. Project Oxcart is responsible for most of the UFO sightings. While Area 51 initially came under scrutiny via its potential ties with the Roswell UFO incident, its own activities certainly did not help. And we're not just talking about the ominous signage and secrecy. Beginning in the 1950s, locals in Lincoln County, Nevada began reporting unidentified flying objects in the area. Turns out that the Air Force was developing the then-secret Lockheed U-2 reconnaissance planes.
Broad, dry lake at Watertown makes an ideal location for this type of transition training.
This paved the way for the Oxcart program, part of which was the development and testing of, once again in secret, the Lockheed A-12.
The CIA set to work. In the cloak and dagger world of espionage, its very existence was kept a closely guarded secret for 10 years. Even its construction scene was sworn to secrecy.
Unlike any other aircraft of its time, the A-12 certainly would have confused any locals who spotted it during a test flight. Adding to the confusion, Area 51...
Well, what happened to it? I wonder why it's not showing.
It is something that means a lot to a lot of people.
Interesting. Wonder why. Maybe they don't like me showing it. You think that's it? Darn it. That really sucks.
And it means very different things to millions of people.
Number 3. Project Oxcart is responsible for most of the UFO sightings. While Area 51 initially came under scrutiny via its potential ties with the Roswell UFO incident, its own activities certainly did not help. And we're not just talking about the ominous signage and secrecy. Beginning in the 1950s, locals in Lincoln County, Nevada began reporting unidentified flying objects in the area. Turns out that the Air Force was developing the then-secret Lockheed U-2 reconnaissance planes.
Broad, dry lake at Watertown makes an ideal location for this type of transition training.
This paved the way for the Oxcart program, part of which was the development and testing of, once again in secret, the Lockheed A-12.
The CIA set to work. In the cloak and
Graduated from MIT and Caltech, deny him ever having attended.
What have we learned? What's the message of your story?
The big thing is the suppression of extremely advanced technology and the suppression of unknown science.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
Yeah, I posted the link to this channel in the chat. So anybody, it says it's called the Top 10 Facts About Area 51. I don't know why, because see, when I put my mouse over this, it works. You can see that it's a video, but I see that it's a black screen. So I guess they are stopping it or something, I guess. I don't know. But oh well, I can't show you any more of it because you can't see it. So I'm going to stop sharing that and close that. And that sucks because I really wanted to share that with you. The thing is that I do believe in UFOs, and I don't know if any of you guys do, but I think there's something to it. Now, I'm not 100% positive that I believe there might be a few things in Area 51. I don't think the whole thing is just a spaceship or whatever. I do think that some of the technology I think it was one of my relatives, it wasn't my dad though, it was one of my other relatives that told me that they believed that the stealth technology, that they got that from one of the crafts or whatever that they've got their hands on. And the thing is, I do believe if we have something like that, some type of technology, if we've captured crashed UFOs, that other countries have too. So, and I think that the government would know that. And I do believe that there's, pilots and other things like that, because I have been watching a couple of things on the government website since Trump has signed that executive order to release a lot of these files, these pilots talking about seeing weird things in the skies, and also things coming out of the ocean, things like that. So I do believe in all that stuff. It's kind of, I know I sound like a nut, but well, that's just what they want you to think. They want you to think all of us, anyone that believes in this stuff is crazy or something, right? Because that way you won't believe in it. I mean, like some of these stories that you hear about someone who can make cars run on just hydrogen or different things like that, and they just disappear, all their paperwork disappears, just like what happened with Tesla. There's been lots of cool movies, about different ideas from other people trying to figure out the truth, but I don't know if we'll ever know. I mean, but a lot of people do know a lot of it because they work there. So, and they have worked there, or their relatives have worked there, and the next generation got a job there simply because maybe their loved one, their mom or their dad or their uncle, whatever, worked there and didn't spill the beans and was able to get their paycheck and raise their families or whatever else. So why not? They get the kids and the nieces and nephews or whatever, all the work too. But I hope you guys enjoyed it, talking about it. I'm sorry the video stopped. It was really interesting, some of the other things that she was going to talk about. But I did share that in the chat. So if you get a chance, you should probably get to watch it if it'll work for you. I don't know if it's the website that's messed up or if it was because I was sharing it with everyone. But I thought it was interesting information. That's why I was trying to share it, for learning purposes, basically, for people who may not have ever seen it. But I want to say thank you. And I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful holiday and get to hang out with some friends and relatives. I got to over the weekend. I went to a wedding and got to see a lot of my family. It was a lot of fun. I just hate flying though. I get air sick and had to wear a little patch, behind my ear so I wouldn't get sick. But, because I do get motion sickness. But, oh, you like my antenna? Aren't they cool? I love them. They're really cool. Yeah, I have all kinds of hats and all kinds of costumes and stuff. I make a lot of them too. It's a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. But I hope you guys got a good laugh out of me tonight or something. Oh, I wanted to ask you guys like my background that I have on here now. It's got the little rockets and stuff because, I can do different ones. I have the moving. I'm getting better and better at making the little backdrops and stuff because I also have this other one that I have used many times right here. This one, I really love this one. I made this too, and I feel like I'm getting better, at actually making my own videos and stuff, and it's all because of Bruce, because I had never done anything or wanted to do anything like this until Bruce asked me to join a show with him and do a girl, a guy in a movie where we do the movie reviews and stuff. And I've loved doing that. I look forward to it every week, and it's depressing when I don't get to do it. Even when it's a movie I didn't want to watch, because a lot of them, Bruce doesn't want to watch mine, and there's some of them that he's played that I was like, oh God, I don't want to watch it. But sometimes they're pretty good, even though I didn't think I'd like it. But I don't remember what movie we're supposed to watch on Sunday, but we're going to be doing a movie on Sunday, and I think we'll have a game this weekend. I missed everything last week because I was, I had to fly out. I left last Wednesday, and I had to drive to Little Rock because it's so far. So I live out in the Ozarks, and then stay the night, and then catch the plane the next morning in two planes because we had to fly to Charlotte and then get another plane and then fly from there to Virginia. So for the wedding. So, oh well, that's the way it is. But just wanted to say thanks again, and hope you guys had a good time. Got a few laughs. I got to talk to people and stuff in the chat and enjoyed it. But you guys have a wonderful evening, and I hope tomorrow is a great, wonderful day for everyone. And hope you like my outro. I think it's funny. I found it, and I wanted to play it for Christmas for everyone. So hope you guys like it. Bye.
Okay, so I came to Walmart today just to see if this was real. See this? Do you see this big box of like cookie things? These? And it says product of India. Product of India right there. I don't think you're ready for this. I don't think you're ready for this.
Las tuyas a tu tienda favorita. Ross, Burlington, Target, Safeway, entre otras. Okay, so I came to